Central Cee is better known as Cench to his litany of friends and fans these days, as he's the UK's fastest ascending rap star. This 23-year-old grew up listening to a whole bunch of eclectic cultural music as a kid, and his fondest childhood memory was the time that he spent with his pops listening to old school hip hop every weekend. Eventually, Cench became engrossed with the idea of making his own music, and he began composing his very first tracks as a preteen. Flash forward a little over 10 years today, and he's racking up tons of accolades, including grabbing the #2 spot on the UK albums chart with his 2021 mixtape, Wild West. Think that you know the moment that Central Cee realized that he was going to make it as a rapper? Then leave your thoughts down below, and as for the rest of you, keep your eyes and ears peeled for the answer, because it's coming up in our latest edition of Before They Were Famous. Central Cee was born Oakley Neil Caesar Sue in Ladbroke Grove, London on June 4th, 1998. Raised in nearby Shepherd's Bush, this area of West London is notorious for having both poor and wealthy living in extremely close proximity to one another. Growing up in a single-parent household with his 3 younger brothers and mother, Cench's apartment was less than a 20-minute walk from Holland Park, which boasts the very much on-the-nose nickname of Billionaire's Row. Back then, he was a little more than a kid. Cench used to take the 52 bus through his high-end neighborhood and daydream about what living there would be like with his family. Of course, for a long period of time, those daydreams were simply nothing more than that. Dreams. And the older Cench became, the more that he realized that he was going to have to be the one looking after his 3 younger brothers as they tried to come of age on the dangerous streets of West London. He told Crack magazine, "I didn't have anyone older than me besides cousins who I didn't spend much time with. It made me grow up faster. I had to be aware and responsible. There are a lot of invaluable lessons that you can learn on the roads." On evenings and weekends is when Cench would get to spend his time with his dad. That's when he picked up his appreciation for a wide range of classic American rap artists like Tupac, Biggie, G-Unit, and the Wu-Tang Clan. His love for these foundational rap artists would lead him to making his own beats at the super young age of just 8 years old. As he became a teenager, Cench not only began to record his own music, but he also took to hitting the streets and local nightclubs to soak up further inspiration in the form of dancehall, soca, and reggae. Cench would then spend his free time blending these techniques together into his own unique sound. Shortly thereafter, at the age of 15, Central Cee realized that once and for all, he was going to make it in this business when he stepped inside of a recording studio for the very first time. In 2013, a friend of Cench's from high school brought him into a studio so that he could record with a professional setup for the very first time in his life. From that point forward, his goals would change forever. Recalling this crucial moment, Cench told Crack magazine, "It was a good day. I remember it vividly. That changed my whole approach and inspired me to want to record more. That experience gave me the confidence I needed to put things out, especially when I was able to hear what I had just made." Prior to that moment in time, Cench had been content to simply send his homespun tracks along to girls that he had been crushing on in class. I mean, heck, he had even picked himself up a gig working as a sales clerk at a local shoe store. But he only managed to hold that job down for 3 weeks before he realized that the little money they were paying him was hardly worth the effort. After that first evening spent in the recording booth, music became Cench's only focus. He began posting music shortly after, although most of his early work has now been wiped clean from the internet. But if you look hard enough, you can still find some of his raw stuff from around 2015 on YouTube, including a Link Up TV freestyle in which he's almost unrecognizable compared to how he looks and sounds today.
"I'm up so late it becomes early and that. I'm about to break them off, I told them they can't hurt me and that. I'm wavy like the shore, I'm sure like Jersey and that. My life ain't pearly, or my life they couldn't jerk me and that."
At this earliest point of his career, Cench was using a different sound and singing in a husky voice through autotune to emulate the trap wave style of other UK contemporaries like D Block Europe and M Huncho had found recent success with. His 2017 EP would make extensive use of these early techniques, but over the next few years, he would evolve into something else entirely. Between 2017 and 2020, Cench's voice would not only grow deeper, but his writing would become more introspective and versatile as well. This came about not only thanks to his evolution as an artist, but also due to his relationship with his manager, YB's, who entered his life around 2019. Back then, YB's had been flicking through Instagram looking for potential artists to help mentor when he stumbled upon Central Cee rapping over a drill beat in the studio. He liked what he heard and he reached out. A short time later, with YB's support, Central Cee posted a clip to Instagram of himself freestyling in the back of a car. Little did he know that this moment would wind up becoming the culmination of his 15-year journey to break into the music scene. By March of 2020, Cench had backed off the autotune and husky singing voice. Now, it was back to basics. A black hoodie, a classic beat, and some fire lyrics emanating out of a much deeper voice would lead to his breakthrough viral moment. In almost no time at all, the clip had racked up over 1 million views, and Cench had gained over 30,000 followers in a couple of weeks. Recognizing that his fans appreciated his straight-up rapping skills more than anything involving autotune, keeping things simple became his focal point from that moment on. Thankfully, Cench already had a handful of other tracks in the bank that he had recorded, and he was ready to capitalize on. After conferring with YBs, they both decided on the song that would launch him into further stratosphere, his 2020 single, Day in the Life.
His beats are mad different. It's like before he gets into it, he really got you turned.
Yeah, the beat already, the beat already on, Armstrong.
I already trust it. I already trust the song just by hearing his beat.
Dropping on June 14th, 2020, just as the UK was easing up on pandemic lockdown restrictions across the country, Day in the Life became a massive hit and would go on to peak at the 44th spot on the UK singles chart. Emboldened by that success, Cench would spend the next few months getting his debut single, Wild West, absolutely perfect. Then dropped that sucker on March of 2021, featuring not only Day in the Life, but further successful singles like Molly and Loading. Wild West would climb to the upper reaches of the UK album charts, falling only one short of the top spot. Soon afterwards, the accolades began to roll in. Cench won the GRM Daily Rated Award for Breakthrough Artist of the Year, as well as Male Artist of the Year. He was also nominated for 3 Brits and won the Best Newcomer at the Mobo Awards.
I'm not really a newcomer though, but I'm accepted nevertheless. I appreciate it a lot, man. What do I have to say? This feels different to when I'm on stage just rapping, like that. I'm gonna just try to keep the convo brief.
After firmly establishing himself and generating a whole ton of momentum, Cench announced that his newest mixtape, 23, will be dropping in February of 2022. And despite the fact that new singles like Obsessed With You have him poised for yet another success story, Cench isn't about to let all of this good fortune go to his head. When asked what the last 12 months of his life had felt like, Cench told The Face, "I don't walk around with it on my head. I don't remind myself when I wake up in the morning that I'm the biggest UK rapper and nothing. I don't care." Well, Cench may not care about it, but I don't think that's going to stop his fans from turning out in droves to support his work and earning him that title in the process.
All the fans, I appreciate you a lot. Everyone, Wild West is a big moment for me. Watch for the new tape, 23 is en route. Gang.
As for where his story goes next, well, that's for another video and another time. After all, this is before they're famous. Thanks again for watching, you guys. My name is Clyde, and if you enjoyed this video, please take a moment to like and subscribe and comment down below. We appreciate it a whole bunch, and I'll see you guys in another episode. Are you stupid? Are you mad? Central Cee, the best rapper in all the UK. You taking the piss, yeah?